Namaste, yogis and yoginis. Welcome once again to Yoga with Vic from the beautiful village of Kaparo in Albania, from this abandoned, I don't know, village, castle, palace, house, whatever it was, but I found it absolutely gorgeous. So I wanted to do a yin class with you today, to take it easy and to just find the stillness no matter how the craziness is going around you. So it's a very windy day, as you can witness, but no matter what's happening around us, we have to find the moment to just find that stillness that is so needed sometimes. So that's what we're going to find. Are we going to stay in our backs, start lying on the back? We're going to do the TP pose, so both feet kind of the width of a mat, so to the extremes of a mat. We put the knees together, we relax the neck, slight tuck of the chin, and we just breathe. We can put one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, or just leave them on the sides, whatever feels good for you. I'm going to put my hands because I like to feel how the air comes in and out. So when you inhale, you feel your lungs inflating, your belly inflating, and with your exhale, the belly deflates and the lungs deflate too, and you can feel the air coming in and out. So just slow your breath. We're not going to count, you can count mentally. Maybe 4 on the way in and 6 on the way out. Or 4 and 4 to start with if you're very agitated today. Just find a bit of peace. And no matter how stormy your day has been, no matter how much thunder and lightning and wind and hail and rain that's been happening in your day, find that moment of stillness in life. Find a moment for you. And very slowly and mindfully, you can start opening your eyes if you want, or you can keep them closed. Just open your legs a little bit. Just prop yourself on the elbows, come up on your hands. And let's do a bit of windshield wiper. So where we have the feet kind of more or less width of a mat, we're going to go right and left. Just to move the hips a little bit towards the sides. Activate a little bit everything, or deactivate if we've been moving all day long. So one side and the other side. And from here, we're going to do a deer pose. So how is the deer pose? The 90-90 as I call it. So the front leg, which we're going to use the right leg, is going to go, the shin is going to go parallel to the top of the mat. And this left shin is going to go parallel to the length of the mat. So we have a 90-degree and a 90-degree angle. So establish yourself the best way. And you might think this is a bit awkward, and it is a bit awkward. Try to not to look towards the side, but to look towards the front. So both tips of the fingers go on the mat or on the floor. Look up, straighten your spine. And you can close your eyes or leave them open, or whatever works for you. And very slowly and mindfully start going forward. So your hands are going to go to the other side of the leg. And you can just stay here, which is beautiful. You're really feeling it in the right hip. Or you can just go down and prop yourself on the elbows. And you'll feel the internal rotation is a lot stronger. And if you think, okay, I'm going to use the block and put it on my forehead, or if you want to just make yourself a little pillow and go down all the way and find some stillness. Remember, in yin, the first phase is just to find that moment, that pose that is going to go well with us, because we're going to sustain it for a little while. So you don't want to be struggling on a pose that is not comfy. If you need adjustments, do them, and then just yield to time. Breathe the pose. Very often in life we're always running and running and running, and we never find the time for ourselves to just take a break, take a pause. And no matter what's happening around us, and yeah, there's always a lot happening, but we can let it affect us. We are human, so we feel pain, we feel happiness, we feel joy, sadness. All the feelings go through us, but they come and go. We have to acknowledge them, we have to love them and leave them. Let them come and let them go. Observe them, because we are not our thoughts, we're not our feelings. And we can change our feelings. It's all down to us. Okay, very slowly come up the way you went down. And from here we're going to do the pigeon pose, or what we call it in yin is sleeping swan. So the right leg is going to come towards our crotch, or if you're very flexible you can leave it kind of where it is. The left leg is going to go towards the back. Lift the right hip a little bit. Position your leg so that the knee is on the floor. So if you want to check, go on your toes, tuck the toes, lift the knees slightly, and now position it and tuck the toes. That's where it should go. And again, if this knee needs to be a bit more bent, and bring your foot towards your crotch, that's totally fine. That's the way I like it. You do it the way you like it. And from here, standing again on our tips of the fingers, straighten your spine. And if you feel this is a good pose for you, stay here. If you feel okay, I'm going to go down a little bit on my hands and it feels great, we'll go here. If you think elbows is my thing, let's go to the elbows. Remember, you're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. So make sure you're in a pose that works for you. You can also use the block to prop your forehead. And if you want to go all the way, make yourself a pillow and forehead on the floor or in your little pillow. Just stay there. Big stretch in the glutes, piriform. If you've suffered from sciatica, or you are, this is a beautiful pose. And let everything melt around you, no matter what. Let it all go. Imagine yourself in your little island, surrounded by these beautiful waters of calm. And at this very moment, you're feeling what you're feeling. If there's something that bothers you, welcome it, and also wave goodbye. Let it go, and bring a joyful thought into your mind, something that makes you smile. Find an anchoring thought that makes you happy, joyful. When was that time that you laughed so much? That time you could not help smiling, that made you so joyful. Bring it again. Imagine it in a screen in front of you, like it was being projected in a film and projected in the mind. And feel that joy. You can also observe your breath, how your back inflates, the back of the lungs goes up and down. I just have to love Sleeping Swan. It just feels so blissful. And I hope you agree with me. But if you had asked me 15 years ago, I would not have agreed with myself because I didn't like it. Sometimes it takes months, years to actually love a pose. But that's called also maturity. Okay, let's go up slowly. Okay, bring your left leg to the front. Just, this goes just quickly through the center. Move the shoulders, roll them backwards. And let's transition to the other side. So left leg goes parallel to the top of the mat, so left shin. And the right shin is going to go parallel to the length of the mat. Do your pose. So find yourself, prop yourself. Remember, we're not looking sideways, we're not looking to any of the sides, we're going to look frontal. So tips of the fingers, prop yourself up, make yourself super long. And if this is your pose, just stay in this pose. If you want to go and bend forward and go on your hands, that's also beautiful. And if you want to go on your elbows, that's amazing. And if you want to prop yourself and make a little cushion with your arms and lay in there, also gorgeous. All the options are beautiful as long as they go with you. And let's find some stillness here. Just find the pose where you think, oh, this is it. I love it. This is my pose. And no matter what my pose is, your pose is different. Because it's yours. So own it. Breathe it. Enjoy it. Find that calmness. And they say that you will always spot the yogi in the middle of a chaos. So amidst chaos, you'll always find a yogi because it's the only one that is observing around, finding peace and stillness, whereas everybody else is running around like headless chicken, trying to find something. And yogis are just finding that peace and stillness. They observe, they calibrate. And it's something that I've actually learned with yoga, to find that calm and that moment of, okay, what is going on? No panic. Let's establish what's happening around. Because there's no point on panicking. Panicking only blurs our minds and our thoughts. It does not allow us to think, and then we cannot react properly. And it is difficult. It's a learning process to learn how to react. Just assess the situation, see what's happening around us. Give it a minute. And then act upon it. But very often we tend to be very reactive. We don't think, we just do. And not always we do the right thing. Okay, very slowly and mindfully come up. And let's do our pigeon, our sleeping swan. So the right leg is gonna come to the back. Remember, let's tuck the toes and see how we're gonna go down. So tuck the toes, lift the knee, and now untuck the toes, drop the knee. You can also prop yourself with a little blanket, a towel, or a cushion just underneath your left hip. If you did it also on the other side, and if it works for you. And again, this leg, the left leg, doesn't have to be parallel. It can be also the foot next to the crotch. And from here, we prop ourselves up. So find that extension also at the right psoas. Stay here, take a couple of breaths. And if you want to stay here, do. If you want to use the hands and prop yourself down a little bit more. If you want to come on your elbows. If you want to go all the way down with your forehead on the floor, or make yourself a little cushion with your hands. Whatever works, just do it. And we're in Sleeping Swan on the other side. And remember to always flex a little bit. So do not point the leg that is in front of you, just flex a little bit the foot. So we activate the shin, protecting a little bit more the knee. And in Yin, we sustain the process for at least 90 seconds. It could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Now I'm not going to be 5 minutes today. Don't want to make it that long. But what we do is we activate the fascia and all the tissues, the connective tissues that are around our body, because we have so many different layers. You know, when I walk around the countryside and I see the mountains, and then you see these layers of different years, centuries, millenniums, and all these different colors, and the little stones, the big stones, the rock, the sand, that tell the whole story. Our bodies are also made of loads of different layers, with loads of different stories. And we have to take care of those layers too. Because we think about the bones, we think about the muscles, then we have like tendons, ligaments, but there's so many tissues up there. And we need to keep them flexible, hydrated. So Yin is the perfect medicine for that. Because there's a moment, and that moment happens around the 90-second mark, where all these beautiful things are getting released. The collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, that's a name that never comes right. That one that you buy in the chemist for such a huge price, because it is so important for the flexibility of everything, to be supple, and that is released naturally from our body. You don't need to buy it, it's in you. It comes with Yin, and it's free. I just love a Sleeping Swan. And if you're not agreeing with me and you're already fidgeting, thinking, hey, are we going to come out ever from this? Don't worry, a couple more breaths and we're out. And you can very slowly prop yourself up. You can keep your eyes closed or open them, whatever works for you. Oh, doesn't it feel great? I do agree with that. So bring the leg forward. Let's do a bit of windshield wipers. So again, width of the mat. Let's go right and left and right and left. Again, the speed that works for you. Nothing right, nothing wrong. Just finding a bit of movement. And from here we're going to go on all fours. So, and from all fours, knees below hips and shoulders above wrists. We're going to bring the right hand up to the sky, right arm reach high, and then from here we're going to thread the needle, bring it behind the left arm. Temple goes towards the floor. You can use a little cushion if it doesn't reach, and the shoulder is going to go in a big internal rotation, and the hand that you have in front of your face can stay in front of your face. It can go and be extended in front of you if you want, and then we find a little bit more extension of the left shoulder this time. But if you prefer, you can also come to the back. So again, a different rotation of the shoulder. I'm going to leave it ahead of me today, but you can choose whatever works for you, and I invite you to do so. Close your eyes and breathe. I don't know if you can hear the wind howling around me. Try to find a little bit of a space that is not too windy, a bit sheltered, still a lot happening around, but it feels so good. And I've got the best helper, making sure the camera is not flying away, putting rocks. I should actually show you the background of scenes, behind the scenes, especially when you record in days like this that are quite complicated. And I love this pose also because it's a back bend, and it's actually a pose I love, and it's not in the yoga books, but it's amazing for digestion. At least in my case, it really helps me, especially when there's wind trapped. Talking about wind, this is a huge relief. You might have already experienced it. Letting the air go. Okay, we're gonna bring, if you have the left hand somewhere else, bring it in front of your face. Come up, let's go. Up again with the right hand, extend, and let's go down. Move a little bit. Nothing fancy, nothing established, just move. And then from here, the left hand goes up to the sky, open, 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 and thread the needle behind the right arm. The left temple, the left cheek goes towards the floor. And again, with the right hand, you can do whatever you want. You can leave it in front of your face. You can bring it behind your back if that feels good, and you want to open more the shoulder, the right shoulder, or you can stretch it ahead of you, finding also an opening and stretching the lats. We're not stressing anything here. We're relaxing everything. You might think this is a relaxing pose. It's not for me. This is not an asana I would use forever. What is very relaxing? It all comes down to how you feel it. If you're already thinking it's not relaxing, then you probably won't relax. If you think, oh, this is a relaxing pose, just modify it so it feels relaxing. Yin is not about suffering and really struggling in every asana. Yin is about enjoying every pose. So that pose that you're doing right now, it's not your thing. Modify it to a point. So if you need to just change the hand, if you need to put your elbow, that's also fine. Whatever works. And breathe. And is it by now, if you had any air trapped in your belly, probably it's already gone. So these are the side effects of this beautiful pose that is aimed to your shoulders, is aimed to stretch your back, a little bit of a back bend. Your spine gets elongated. There's a mild inversion of the guts, and that's what moves things around. And if you're outside, if you're outdoors, you have some sun, maybe a little bit of wind, maybe not as much as I do. You can also feel that in your skin. And notice everything around you. Invite the things that you like, and say thank you and goodbye to the things you don't like. But be grateful for both. Because everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we have really horrible episodes or sad episodes, and we are like, why? And then you understand why maybe a month later, a year later, or a decade later. But we always learn from them. We always bring something positive. There's always a happy side of things. Okay, whatever you have in your right hand, bring it forward in front of your face. Climb yourself up to all fours. Let's do a couple of cats and cows, freestyle. Dropping your belly, inhaling, and arching your belly, and exhaling, and emptying your belly. Inhale, drop the belly. I'm talking about cats and cows. I can hear goats or sheep in the background. There's some bells going on. I don't know who they are. But it's so nice to also hear animals going on the wild. Well, not wild. They're not really wild. And we're honoring them with some cats and cows. And then from here, curl the legs in front of you. We're going to go on our backs. Now we're going to go to one of my... Oh, it's actually a horse. Okay, there you go. Beautiful. Horse with a bell. Bring the right leg towards your chest. Extend the left leg. Extend the right arm on the side. Let's do a spinal twist. Looking towards the right. And if you feel, this is your pose, stay in here. And if you fancy taking it a little bit further, bend the left knee, bring the left foot towards your right hand, and grab it with the right hand. That is the cat pulling its tail. There's loads of rights and lefts here. It's confusing, but basically, the upper legs are being pushed down with the left arm. And the lower left leg is bent, and you're grabbing the foot with the right arm, the right hand. That's if you're doing the full pose. And if you're just twisting, just leave it there. And look away from your front knee. So you have a bigger spinal twist. And you're enjoying the sun, if you're in the sun. Or you can also imagine it. You're lying in a place where it's a beautiful day. The sun is hitting on you, mildly warm, but not hot. It's not making you sweat. It's just making you the right amount of warmth. From here, release the foot if you've grabbed it. Stand the leg. Come back to the center. Remove the ends if you have them, well, I do, very mildly, mindful. And then grab your left leg. Left knee comes towards your chest. Right hand is going to push the left leg towards the right. And you're looking left, extending the left arm if you're going to do the spinal twist. And a beautiful crack for the spine. And if you're going to stay in this spinal twist, do so. If you're going to go for the full pose, okay, the cat pulling it still, bend the right knee, bring the right foot towards the, okay, grab it, there you go, there it is. Grab it with your left hand and keep looking left. And again, imagine yourself in your favorite place, surrounded by your favorite landscape. And if you don't like the sun, you can imagine the moon, or none. Whatever works, whatever makes you smile. Every time you exhale, relax a bit more, and find that torsion of the spine. And there's a stretch of the quad also, the right quad now. If you're pulling your tail, it doesn't have to be brutal. It's mild. Everything we're doing today is mild. Let's be kind to our bodies. And whenever you're ready, start releasing your right foot. If you're holding it, if you're not, just take one more breath. Slowly come back to the center. Grab both your knees. Let's do a quick happy baby. So grab the outside of your feet, or back of your thighs, or your shins, your ankles, or your toes, whatever works. Again, remember this is a yin class, take it easy. And you can sway back and forth to the sides, give yourself a back massage. Make sure the spine is fully on the floor, so even your tailbone is touching, so we're not doing anything weird. We're really extending the spine. Bring the feet towards the floor, meaning the knees push down. Make sure we open the hips. And from here, we're going to grab the knees again, give yourself a big hug. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Take some air. And release. Opening the mouth if you want to let go. Extend the legs ahead of you. Palms go up. Tuck the chin slightly, stretching the neck. Shoulders super relaxed. Relax the forehead. Relax the eyes, the eyelids. Relax the jaw, the cheeks. Shoulders heavy, arms heavy, palms heavy. Feel your buttocks really grounded. Feel the thighs super heavy on the floor. Your breath is slow. Still nourishing you. Bringing oxygen to your whole body. You brought a lot to your body in the last few minutes. So your body is full of beautiful things. So enjoy them. Stay in Shavasana another 3-5 minutes. I'm just going to say goodbye to you, but please feel free to stay. I'm going to come up slowly to a cross-legged position. Hands in front of the chest. Bowing slightly and being very grateful for who you are, who you want to become, who you've been. Because no matter what happened in the past, it's part of who you are. And whatever will happen in the future will be impacted for whatever happened in the past. You're a continuum, and everything has meaning in your life. Even this class has meaning in your life. So embrace it. Thank you. Thank you again so much for being with me today. Always an honor and a pleasure. See you very shortly. Namaste.